Three young girls were seriously injured tonight in an accident in Montgomery County. Police say the three were hurt when two cars collided at the intersection of Route 309 and Orvilla Road in Hatfield Township. It was about 9 o'clock. Two of the girls are in serious condition at Allegheny University Hospital, Hahnemann. A third is being evaluated at North Penn Hospital. Two other people were injured but were treated at the scene. The Monmouth County prosecutor is expected to announce tomorrow whether a Lacey Township teenager will be charged in the death of her newborn. The 18-year-old gave birth to the baby at her senior prom on June 6th and dumped the baby in a bathroom trash bag. The decision on whether she will face criminal charges will come after autopsy results are released tomorrow. The pilot of a small plane escaped injury tonight in Newcastle, Delaware. He had to land his twin-engine plane on its belly at the Newcastle County Airport. That after problems deploying the landing gear. The unidentified pilot was shaken up after the successful emergency landing but refused treatment at the scene. We now have dramatic home video of a mid-air collision at an air show in New York over the weekend. The single-engine planes were flying maneuvers over a Long Island airstrip when they clipped each other's wings. That sent the aircraft spiraling out of control, one of them plunging to the ground in a fireball. One pilot was killed, the other critically injured. No word yet what exactly caused the tragedy. Lawmakers in Trenton are inching closer toward a vote on auto insurance reform. Leaders of the Assembly and the Senate have now reached agreements on the major components of a reform bill, and a vote in both houses is set for Thursday. Governor Whitman wants to sign a measure into law by next Tuesday to avoid an automatic 3% rate increase. Look at the Phillies tonight. You wouldn't know they were the worst team in baseball.
Let's just enjoy tonight. A couple of stars this evening for the Phillies, Scott Rowland and Kurt Schilling. Now, Rowling already had a 2-run double in the first inning. He adds a 3-run home run. This in the third, it is gone. He had 5 RBIs tonight. Kurt Schilling just pitched 7 innings but had a career high of 13 strikeouts. Here's number 13. That's a fastball. And for some defense, Scott Rowland at third base and all a 9-3 final, breaking their 8-game losing streak. Afterwards, Kurt has praise for the third baseman.
To me, this was the Scotty Rowland show tonight. He's just done things that just very impressive, both sides of the ball. And he made a comment to me the other day on the bus coming home from Boston. He was, after the last game, how disappointing was he didn't do one thing that night to help us win.
We played an all-around good ball game tonight. I mean, Kurt, when he goes out and strikes out 13, there's really not much defense to be played.
And a couple other plays tonight. Jim Eisenreich had one at bat, and he pops it up, as we saw that rather briefly tonight. On the scoreboard, 5-0 Montreal. The Mets win 3-2. They're only 5 back of the Braves to the American 5-2 Yankees. 7-2 Minnesota. They win at Cleveland. 7-6 Boston. Another road team wins. And 5-0 Milwaukee blanks Baltimore. The Sixers, what did they do to the deal about Dino? Now, the Sixers feared that he would not pass the physical because of his knee. But Raja is not coming to town because he wants to go to a warm climate and a playoff team. But Boston head coach Rick Pitino says tonight we're not running at Club Med, and Dino could now face some, quote, severe penalties. We also talked to Sixers Vice President of Basketball Billy King tonight. He still hopes to at least see Dino by tomorrow at 5.
Dino Raja has not been here yet. We're still trying to get him here for his physical, and hopefully he'll show up.
You expect him to be here tomorrow?
Well, that's my intention. I spoke to his agent, and he's working to try to help us out. But at this point in time, I'm hoping that he'll show up, and we get the physical, and we can go on from there.
Off he goes tonight. Deadline for Dino to report 5 p.m. tomorrow, or no deal for Billy King and the Sixers. Finally, the story from Hackensack, New Jersey. In bowling, her name is Rose Kotz. She uses her cane to help her bring her bowling ball for a weekly game. She is 94 years old. She goes every week, and some people say, Rose, take it easy. Why go bowling every week?
And some of them tell me, why don't you act like a 94-year-old woman? Why don't you stay home? I said, why don't you get lost? Mind your business.
I love her attitude, and I love her form. This is going to be a strike. It's a little slow, but there it is for 94-year-old Rose Kotz, and she'll get a standing ovation from Hackensack, New Jersey, as she just keeps rolling along in Hackensack.
Thank
Very
you,
nice,
sir.
yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
A South Jersey World War II veteran finally has his medal tonight. Officials in Pennsauken tonight presented 77-year-old Kenneth Kendig with his Normandy Liberty Medal. Kendig took part in the invasion in Normandy during World War II. He was supposed to receive the medal at D-Day ceremonies in North Jersey on June 6th, but he was too ill to attend, and so he gets his due tonight.
It was an honor for me to be there.
Day one of the heat wave. Tomorrow. Here's Dave Robertson to AccuWeather.
Well, you've got that one. We had the hot stuff over the weekend, 94, 93 highs respectively. Today, a comfortable 89 degrees with lower humidity, but the high pressure system just kind of sinking right over us. Hot air to the west, humid air down here. Tomorrow, we're going to get into a southerly flow, so that hot stuff and the humid stuff is just going to pour in here, and we expect to get up into the 90s. Take a look at the satellite picture, and it shows you how clear we are here in the east. We'll set Satellite 6 in motion, watch the action down in the Gulf on into Florida, and through the central plains. That's where they're getting some activity, with some storm centers there and some thunderstorms. Satellite 6 to action radar. Break it down, you'll see the precip there in those areas, especially northern Florida on into Georgia. All in all, that stays away from us, so as long as this high-pressure system here continues to hold court, we're in the hot, humid stuff, and it appears to be for at least the next 3 days, and then you'll see some relief on the 5-day. Call from AccuWeather is we have, well, we're going to sizzle. Come tomorrow. 67 in the Pocono, 72 in Allentown, 70 in Reading, 75 in Wilmington, 73 in Dover. Down here, 74, 75, 67 degrees. That was our low. 89 degrees was the high at 3:48 this afternoon. Let's take a look at where the action cam was tonight. Sunset over the Schuylkill. All right, we'll show you the present temperature reading of 78 degrees. Relative humidity 42%. The barometer 30.13. Thank you very much. It's rising. Winds out of the northwest 6 miles an hour. The ocean water temperature is 62 degrees. Good to have the little red ribbon back. All right, in the northeast 74, 76 outside the station, 79 in the city, 78 at the airport. That's the official number. And 75 in Camden. The exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast, mostly clear, 62 to 68, the temperature range, comfortable enough. The humidity is all right, especially out in the suburban areas. Not much of a breeze tonight, and that's really going to hurt us tomorrow. Mostly sunny. Rush hour, we start at 71. We're up to 94 degrees tomorrow. Hot, more humid air coming in, very uncomfortable. Wednesday appears to be the worst day of the three here. Hazy, hot, and humid, 96 degrees. The record is 98, set in 1952, so we're near the record as far as temperatures are concerned with that humidity. Very uncomfortable, 92 degrees. Hopefully some thunderstorms to kind of change the pattern here. Friday looks like the first sign of relief. Warm with less humid conditions, 86. 86 partly sunny on Saturday. Mostly clear tonight. Sunshine in the morning. Won't feel too bad going to work in the morning, but coming home and tomorrow night, hot stickies. The weather, that is.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. A 9-year-old girl from Bosnia has left St. Christopher's Hospital in Philadelphia on her road to recovery with a new liver. Ivana Vroljak appeared with her parents and doctor at a news conference before leaving the hospital today. Ivana received part of her father's liver on June 4th to save her from a deadly liver disease. She will be monitored as an outpatient for several weeks before going back home to Bosnia. The New Jersey Assembly has passed a bill outlawing the possession and use of so-called date rape drugs. Lawmakers held a news conference in Trenton prior to the vote today. The proposed bill would toughen penalties for people who use the drugs to disable unwilling sex partners. A woman who was the victim of a date rape drug came forward to applaud the effort to stop a crime that often goes unpunished.
It cannot be and cannot stay the perfect crime, which it is now.
The bill calls for up to 10 years in prison for anyone caught with the drugs known as roofies or GHB. Manufacturers could get a maximum 20 years. The measure now goes before the state Senate. Every adult American would be tested for diabetes under a new guideline, winning support in Washington. Lisa Thomas-Laurie has details on Health Check at 11.
For the first time, federal health officials are recommending that all adults be tested for diabetes by age 45. The National Institutes of Health estimates the new guideline could help identify 2 million Americans who have diabetes but don't know it and get them started on treatments before the serious complications of diabetes can set in. The new guidelines recommend using the fasting plasma glucose test, a simple blood test that costs about $5 to $10. And in another first, scientists have identified a genetic flaw that can help make some people fat. Researchers in England have found that 2 obese children shared a defect in the gene that tells fat cells to produce leptin. Experiments have shown that leptin is the hormone that helps the brain keep tabs on weight gain. Experts say the defective genes cause obesity only very rarely and do not apply to the vast majority of obese people, but the new discovery does underline the importance of leptin in regulating body weight. I'm Lisa Thomas-Laurie. That's Health Check at 11.
And still to come on Action News tonight, it is a moving experience for a local fire company. That and more when we continue in just a moment. Well, the Radnor Fire Company has folded its tent and moved out. The firefighters have been camped out in a huge tent for the past year. But tonight, firefighters were on the move with their gear and their fire trucks. They paraded several blocks down Lancaster Avenue to their brand new firehouse. Our cameras weren't the only ones recording the big event tonight. The all-volunteer fire company will now be operating out of spacious new quarters with all the modern conveniences. Finally tonight, a night of award-winning music in Fairmount Park. Composer Marvin Hamlisch led the Philadelphia Orchestra in a program of his music at the Mann Center for the Performing Arts. Hamlisch has won 3 Oscars, 4 Grammys, and a Tony Award for his film soundtracks and Broadway scores. Of course, he wrote A Chorus Line. Composer Marvin Hamlisch and the Philadelphia Orchestra making music in Fairmount Park tonight. Nightline is next on Channel 6. Action News continues at 5:30 with Monica Malpass, Rick Williams, and Cecily Tynan. Now for Gary Papa, Dave Roberts, the entire Action News team, I'm Jim Gardner. Have a good night tonight.
Closed captioning provided by Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.